The University of Limpopo has been criticized for its alleged failure to apply the National Qualifications Framework. This has resulted in the university blocking some students from graduating. Some students have been informed by the university that their degrees can't be conferred because of their previous qualifications were unrecognized. Joining us is Tebogo Letsie, chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Higher Education. Dr. Letsie, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this afternoon. Just talk to us with regards to what is at the heart of the challenges regarding the NQF levels at the University of Limpopo.
Well, thank you very much for having us. Good afternoon, Katlego, to yourself, the listeners of Newzroom Afrika. Indeed, there seems to be a problem at the University of Limpopo with understanding a simple NQF National Qualification Framework articulation. You'll remember that in January, the High Court of Limpopo would have ruled in favor of two students, Pilisiwe Cele and Ntando Mguni, when the university 2 years ago refused them to graduate because they came from University of Technology. Instead of having a degree, they would have had an advanced diploma and all of that. But that is a simple issue of understanding the National Qualification Framework, because the National Qualification Framework will tell you about the NQF level. So advanced diploma is NQF level 7, a degree is NQF level 7. So whether you have done advanced diploma or a degree, it's the same level of qualification. You can then go and do an honors or postgraduate diploma, which is NQF level 8. So the problem there is the university not understanding the NQF framework.
And how do we even get to a point where university cannot understand the framework in the way that it is? Because right now, as it is, it's disadvantaging students who are meant to have their qualifications and graduate.
Well, there are others who are saying, in fact, it's not even them not understanding the National Qualification Framework. It's them not wanting certain students to graduate. I mean, there's a case that has now been brought before us of a student there who would have done masters as well. I think his name is Victor T, for who the South African Qualification Authority, which is an authority that can tell you whether a student has a degree or an NQF level 7 or 8 or 9 that is recognized in South Africa, would have written to the University of Limpopo and told them that this is true. The student would have qualified to do this particular masters in your institution, but the university is still refusing. I mean, they wrote to TUT where the student was. TUT wrote to them and said, this is the NQF level articulation that you must understand easily. So there's people are saying it's the university, one, it's the university not wanting certain students to graduate, but two, others are making allegations that maybe it's the university siphoning money through these law firms that they're using to lose these particular cases, because whether they win or lose, they are paid exuberant amount of money. So people are coming with theories that we have not yet proven.
And are there any specific actions that the committee then is taking to ensure that the university adheres to the NQF levels and properly recognize these students' qualifications?
Yeah, the Higher Education Act prohibits us from entering that space of academic freedom. But what we have done is that we've acted on what the Act empowers us to do, which is to write to the Minister of Higher Education and Training, Dr. Nkabani, and we've written to her and told her that, Minister, this is not the only problem there, where in 2023 alone, a University of Limpopo would have spent 14.7 million on legal fees, challenging student workers in courts, and many of those court cases they've lost. We don't know how much they've spent in 2024. We don't know how much they've spent or lost currently in 2025. So we have written to the minister and said, Minister, please consider exercising Section 43 and 44 of the Higher Education Act by appointing an independent assessor to go and investigate this particular university. We're not stopping there. We're also collecting. We've asked students like Victor Tefo, like Pilisiwe, like Ntandom Guni, to continue to write to us. So far, we've received about 9 students who say, we registered, we completed qualifications, but the university is refusing us to graduate. They've written to us, we're collecting this information. We're going to make a compelling case to the President of the Republic of South Africa to consider appointing the Special Investigative Unit to go and investigate all these allegations of that particular university failing the students and taking money that is meant for academic projects there to, to waste them in court processes. So we are doing what we can do as far as the act is concerned. We're not going to allow. I saw they wrote a letter now saying that we are misleading people about the case of Pilisiwe, Cele, and Tandom Guni. But if you read what the acting judge of that High Court there, Bresler, would have ordered, it's it's bad for the university, because if you read that paragraph 29, 29.1, 29.2, and 29.3, if you don't mind, I can just read it for you quickly. It says, the decision taken by the first respondent, which is the university, on the 30th of May 2023 in terms whereof the applicant registration and conferral of the master's degree was refused, is hereby reviewed and set aside. 29.2, the decision is hereby referred back to the first respondent for redetermination, because the court can't confer a degree. That is why you have 29.2. And then 29.3 says the first respondent is ordered to pay the cost of the application party and the party scale, including cost of counsel on scale B. The university continues to bleed money on something we told them that we are going to lose in a court of law. But I saw they released some statement saying we're misleading the public. That's not what the court said, but this is what the court would have said. The acting judge would have said in the judgment. So
you've written to the Minister of Higher Education. Any responses there with regards to how it would then be taken forward?
Yeah, the minister did acknowledge our letter and told us that she will. They are busy getting a legal opinion on these things. Remember, the act also says that upon getting this thing, the minister must engage with the university. She must give the university an opportunity to respond. We believe that they are in that process where they are back and forth between the university and the department in responding to all the allegations. These are not the only allegations. I mean, it is our considered view that the governance at that institution has collapsed because against the statute, the chair of council is there for 3 consecutive terms. The vice chancellor himself doesn't know how long he has been there as the vice chancellor against the university statute. The institutional forum, which is a critical body that advises council on key appointments, has not had elections, and they've had acting chair there since 2017. And many other issues that we have written to the minister about, to say, these are the reasons we are saying to you, if you can't turn a blind eye on this governance collapsed.
It's certainly quite bizarre, and we hope that there aren't any more students that are being blocked from getting their qualifications and graduating. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. That's Tebogo Letsie, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Higher Education.